Fresh violence has erupted in Myanmar's Chin state as internal conflict among ethnic armed groups intensifies, displacing scores of civilians and triggering a new wave of refugees into India's northeastern state of Mizoram. The renewed fighting broke out on July 2nd in the Tuichirh area near the Indo-Myanmar border, where clashes reportedly erupted between two Chin resistance groups, the Chin National Defence Force and the Chinland Defence Force, which is supported by the Hualngoram People's Organization. Well, tensions between the groups have been building for weeks, eventually boiling over into open confrontation. The CNDF is alleged to have carried out drone strikes on CDF positions as hostilities spread to neighboring villages including Satom and Lianna. At least one CDF fighter has been confirmed dead. The conflict centers around a bitter territorial rivalry for control over key border zones and trade corridors, which are of strategic significance for both logistics and influence. While violence between Chin resistance groups and the Myanmar military junta had recently shown signs of easing, the spotlight has now shifted to infighting among ethnic factions. Human rights observers warn of an increasingly complex and volatile landscape where civilians bear the brunt of power struggles. On June 16, the CDF issued a state of emergency alleging incursions by CNDF forces into their territory and warning of imminent threats. Well, since then, the fighting has escalated, forcing numerous families to flee across the border into Mizoram amid gunfire and insecurity. As of July 4th, at least 245 individuals, including women and children, have sought refuge in Mizoram through the Zakauthar border crossing. Well, local communities have stepped in to offer temporary shelter and assistance, even as official protocols under India's Ministry of Home Affairs mandate a 7-day entry pass for all arrivals. Authorities have relaxed enforcement slightly given the humanitarian crisis, but have urged refugees to complete registration promptly. Well, reliable resources have reported that 161 refugees have received the required entry documentation, with the remaining 84 expected to follow suit in the coming days. As of this morning, tension escalated when fresh violence broke out in Kaumawi and two other nearby villages, rendering civilians to flee for their safety. Well, gunshots were heard near Zakauthar at the Indo-Myanmar border. Well, reportedly, one civilian went missing while crossing the Tiao River, and the Zakauthar YMA is searching for the missing person despite the threat of gunfire. So, violence trigger fresh refugee wave in Mizoram. All right, now I'm being joined over phone line with our correspondent, Lanlin Rui, at this point in time to know more on this. So, Lanlin Rui, fresh violence has erupted in Myanmar's Chin state as internal conflict among ethnic armed groups intensifies. Give us more details regarding this, first of all, Lanlin Rui.
Yes, Priya, the situation is right now, reports are saying that the crossfire is still taking place. So initially, what happened was that the CDF Hualngoram is claiming that the other party, which is the CNDF, they are setting up their camps within their area, within the Hualngoram area, and then they are also claiming that drone attacks are carried out in the mentioned villages. Whereas, on the other hand, the CNDF people are claiming that the CDF Hualngoram personnel carried out ambush to the CNDF personnel. So this was the reason why the crossfire is happening. And as of now, the Dampai DC office has said that the Zakauthar YMA whole is sheltering around 100 people and the civilians who have fled from these villages. So they are sheltering around 100 people at the Zakauthar YMA hole currently, and then they are also taking care of these people in terms of essential needs as well. So as per the border pass, what we have to understand is that there are many people from the other side, from the Myanmar side, from these Chin villages whose children are taking education from the Indian side, from our side. So because of that, many of these people who have fled from these villages are are in possession of the 7-day pass, or basically the permit, which has given them the free pass for the thing. So that is there. And even though these are not official reports, some have also claimed that there are now close to 1,000 people who have fled from these villages as well.
I know, after this development, human rights observers, they warn of an increasingly complex and volatile landscape where civilians, they are bearing the brunt of past struggles as well. And 245 Myanmaris, they have entered Mizoram through Zakauthor. So tell us about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. When such things are taking place, it's always the civilians who are, bearing the brunt of such a situation. But however, from the Indian side, the people who are at the forefront, they are taking care of of the civilians who have fled from these villages, and they are doing their utmost in order to shelter these people. The people, not just the Zakauthor YMA, it's the Assam Rifle personnel, the police, the TC, and the village councils are also doing the utmost to not just help them but also keep a track on the movement in the border areas as well.
And also, reports are coming in, Lalindri, that one civilian went missing while crossing the Tuichirh river. So, any update on that?
No update yet, but the Zakauthor YMA members are searching for this missing body. As of now, we're saying that we're assuming that the missing person has drowned while crossing the Tuichirh river. So, there has been no report as of now.
All right, Lalindri, thank you so much for all those details.